Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the top 6 of Sorvit's non-meta tournament number 4. So we had enough participants this tournament. We had 18, I believe, and so that means we were going to cut to top 6. And so here are two players who made it to top 6. Obviously, iPhone up at the top and myself down here at the bottom. So this is technically a rematch from round number 3. So if you have not seen that match already, I would highly recommend it. And let's see how well we do in the rematch after we kind of know each other's decks. So looks like he is going to start off, since he wins the rock, paper, scissors. He's going to start off with a copy of Traptrix Mantis. And I'm going to go ahead and just hit this with a Cyframe Gamma. And unfortunately, I drew the driver like I did in almost every game, or at least once per match on this tournament. But yeah, so in the end phase, driver and Gamma banish itself. Obviously, he has to pass with no Sarah. That was kind of the goal. But I do have to play around 3 back row here, so this is going to be pretty rough for me. So I have nothing pretty much, so I just go ahead and set 2 cards and pass my turn. And in the end phase, he uses Trap Trick. Unfortunately, in the column that I set Impermanence in, if I would have maybe picked a different column, it would have been a little better for me, but regardless, it didn't really matter. So he's going to now normal summon a copy of Romello, and I'm going to hit that with an Impermanence. The reason I hit this with Impermanence is because Traptrix Sarah is unaffected by trap effects. So if I Veilered the Romello and then he used the Sarah, then I couldn't Impermanence the Sarah. I'd have to use the effect Veiler. So that's why I prioritized it a little weird. But yeah, especially because he has this Call by the Grave here to just negate this effect Veiler, which I'm going to drop on the Sarah. So yeah, obviously he has the Call by the Grave for it. Summoning the Shade Brigandine, using Sarah to summon Romello, and Romello is going to pop my last back row, which is a Call by the Grave. And this Call by the Grave is probably going to hit the Romello, I assume, here. I hit the Mantis. Then he goes ahead and sets a copy of Floodgate Trap Hole with Sarah, and then unfortunately at this point I don't really have a lot here since he can just overlay for a copy of Redoer with a trap attached. So he has like four interruptions, which is just going to be insane. So I'm going to take a total of 3,200 damage. I draw for turn, drawing Winder, so this isn't bad. We go into the standby phase. Obviously, he uses Redoer, and he attaches a spell, literally the worst one, especially because he attached my Barrage, which was an extra extender. But fortunately for me, I do have a play here with the Monster Born targeting the Romello, and then I can hopefully like pop one of his back row. So that's in fact what I do, I believe. So actually, it looks like I just go ahead and pass my turn. Maybe I was like really worried about the Redoer, so that could be a possibility as well. But Redoer is going to go ahead and detach the spell, draw a card, and he is going to draw for turn. Standby phase, he's going to pick up my Gamma, which is fine with me because my Gamma is dead for the rest of the game anyways. He's just going to move into battle phase and hit me for 32. So I think that what I was thinking here is that I can't out this Redoer, because if I out the Redoer, I can't make a rank 4, which is like the ultimate end goal. So that's probably why I didn't go in. So he sets 2 cards in the back row and passes his turn. I draw for turn, drawing a copy of Flyback. He attaches a Parallel Exceed. Unfortunately, I don't draw another extender to get me out of this situation, so I go ahead and just activate the Monster Born, target Romello, and then I use the effect. And he's just going to use his Floodgate Trap Hole to set it face down. And then, yeah. The back row I hit was Torrential Tribute, and he's going to use Romello, and then he's going to use Sarah. And unfortunately, like, there's no way for me to make a rank 4 at that point, so I just decided to scoop it up there, especially because he is game on board for the next turn. Or at least close to game. So moving into game number 2, I decide to go first this time, and I draw a copy of Thoroughblade and Barrage, which is like, okay. You can potentially end, especially because I have the Shade Brigandine, I can end with a rank 4. I'm opting to discard this Thoroughblade here with a Thoroughblade to see if I can get another draw. So I discard this Thoroughblade and I draw into another copy of Shade Brigandine. So it was probably not the right play for me to do that. I'm not too sure, honestly, because I could have just normal summoned the Thoroughblade, summon this, make a rank 4 on top of my Trident that I'm going to summon here. But I just opt to go for a Redoer. And then I set 3 back row and pass my turn. So he draws for turn, and he is going to start off with a Dark Hole. Obviously, I have to chain Redoer here. I'm going to bounce the Dark Hole to the top of the deck, And then he is going to normal summon Mantis, and I'm going to hit that with a copy of Solemn Judgment, obviously, because if I negate the summon, he won't get the search for a Traptrix monster, and he won't get the Sarah. So the Sarah is the main like generating advantage of the deck, so that's really nice on my part. Then he's just going to go ahead and set 3 back row. And in the end phase, my Redoer comes back. Standby phase, I go ahead and attach this Dark Hole from the top of the deck. And I think we might actually realize after the fact. I'm not sure if this Dark Hole is actually supposed to be here. Because I think we were like looking up the ruling. I think it actually might not be on it. I don't remember. But I'm going to go ahead and attack for 1,000 and 2,400. And he's going to hit me with a Lost Wind, so he's only going to take 1,200. And then I'm going to overlay for a copy of Tornado Dragon, and then I'm going to use... Oh, we actually realized the... Yeah, okay, so we actually realized that it won't attach or go to the top of the deck for some reason. I'm pretty sure that's how the ruling works. So we just reversed the game state to that. So it would attach the next most top card or whatever, since the Dark Hole would be in the graveyard at that point. So technically my Reader would just have a trap attached. So the game state is fixed at this point. Sorry for a little bit of the confusion there. We were uncertain about the ruling. So a copy of Solemn Judgment is going to come down on top of this Tornado Dragon. And my Redoer is unfortunately just kind of stuck here. And so, yeah, it's just at 1,200, and it's pretty rough. So he's going to go ahead and use Traptrix to get a copy of Shade Brigandine. And he drew Pankratops here, which is also really nice. So he's going to special the Pankratops. And then he's going to move into battle phase and hit me for 1,400, killing my Redoer and passing my turn. So I honestly drew pretty good here. Drawing into this Regulator is really nice, although he can just kill it with Pankratops. But we'll see what happens. So standby phase, main 1. I got a normal Regulator, and I'm going to opt to use the effect. He doesn't hit it with Pankratops, which he probably should have. And this Winder and Chrono Quarter are going to be summoned. Winder is going to get me a search for Retrograde. And then I can go ahead and overlay into a copy of Light Dragon and Ignister. This is probably the safest option here, since if he chains the Pankratops to attempt to pop my guy, I can just save itself. And I don't mind having this fly back in the graveyard either, so I'm going to use the effect. He's going to, I assume, chain it here. Maybe he just lets it go through. Oh yeah, he does chain it, targeting the Light Dragon and Ignister, which I protect with its own effect. So that's pretty nice. I did get an extra like protection there. I can attack for 23, putting him down to just 600 life points, setting a back row, passing my turn. He's got a Lost Wind and a Shade Brigandine. We'll see what he top decks. He top decks into a copy of Parallel Exceed, which is not the best top deck here. However, he does have a copy of Shade Brigandine, which he's going to summon. And he's just going to go ahead and link it off into a Link Spider and trigger this Exceed in hand. So it's pretty smart of him to play this copy of Link Spider, especially for the situations where he doesn't draw a Traptrix monster. So now he can obviously get into his Traptrix engine with the Traptrix rank 4 or whatever, but he's not playing it. He's just going to go into Utopia, and then this Utopia is going to rank up into a Utopia Lightning, and he's just going to battle phase, detach 2, and unfortunately that is game, because that is more than, I think that's 2,700 damage, which I only have 2,600 life points. So I could bring back this Regulator, assuming I had more life points and the Chrono Quarter. Actually, I couldn't bring the Chrono Quarter back, but it could have like gave me like another chance, I guess. But unfortunately, that's just kind of how it works sometimes. So that's going to do it for today's video. I know it's a kind of a shorter game, I guess. But the other game that we played in round number 3 was a little bit closer. If you are interested, you can go watch that. It was a good time. And I will see you guys for the next top 6 match in a couple days.